What's up, guys? Okay, so special request for a video on how I set up my DJ streaming recording area. Unlike my studio, I have found that it's kind of hard to make a DJ setup minimal and get satisfactory results that you really want to show the world. A production setup, no one needs to see that necessarily. They don't need to see how minimal or how expensive it is. And nowadays you can get very, very good results. Dare I say, professional, typical studio, Grammy quality results with very, very minimal equipment. So it's not real sexy. But a DJ setup I have found is a little bit different. So let's go ahead and dive into this. I think first things first, I would pick a cool tapestry. The cool thing about the tapestry that I picked here, and this is a pretty big secret that I spent a lot of money on tapestries needing to learn, but the edges of the tapestry look like an enclosed cabana. That's pretty important because when this camera is shooting it, it looks good. You know, when the frame is tight and in, which I can't quite do right now with this camera, it looks just a little bit better. You can buy a million tapestries online that are beach photos, but I'm telling you, without that border of like cabana looking tiki hut, it just doesn't give the same effect. The curtains are also imperative as well. It kind of gives it more of an effect of you DJing at a cabana or a tiki hut rather than just you DJing with a sunset behind you. To me, it just doesn't look as good. So, huge, huge, huge tapestry, the biggest one you can find. Put it in your garage with a bunch of thumbtacks, hammer it into the wall, and call it a day. Second thing is how that tapestry is lit. Let me just show you the difference between the tapestry unlit. Let me shut off this little guy too. I have a side light here. You can already see, look at how dark that corner gets with that light off. Now, this is the big boy. This is an 18-inch ring light you can get from Walmart for 50 bucks. It's great because you get the ring light. You get a huge stand with it. I mean, this stand right now is barely even halfway. I think this will go up to like 62 inches, so like it could even look down on the DJ setup if you really wanted to. But look at how much more bright. It gets way more bright when you turn that ring light on, and way more dark when you shut it off. And the cool thing about this ring light from Walmart is it comes with a charging port. So this camera, if you will, this iPhone is never going to go dead because this ring light is plugged into a surge protector right over there. And so this camera is always charging. This old cell phone is always charging. It'll never be dead. So when I come out here and I want to record, this is ready to go. Easy, easy, easy. Now, aside from the lights, which let's turn those on, you need a table. You can get that at Walmart. You need a cool tablecloth. You can get that anywhere. I went to a party store and bought a tiki hut kind of palm frond kind of thing, which is super cool. Gives it a nice effect for my branding, kind of that tropical kind of house music thing going on. A couple of lays from Party City. Makes it look nicer on the DJ booth. Covers up the wires. This is a DDJ 800. I went for the 800 over the 1000 because I just don't need 4 channels. Maybe eventually I will, but 4 channels is, for me, a little overkill, especially because there's 2 virtual decks on this as well. So what you're looking at basically is 4, I guess you could argue, simplistic CDJs, even though you're only seeing 2 here. There's actually 2 virtual decks as well. 2 mixer channels, that's more than enough for me for, basic DJing, for what I do. And, yep, pair of headphones. And then the way that this thing hooks into all of this, that's where it doesn't really get too technical, but I'll show it to you. Don't be afraid. It's no big deal. Let me move the lays here. Okay. First things first, the only thing that this laptop runs is Rekordbox. It does not record the mixes, and I'll get into why in a minute. But essentially, it's a crappy HP laptop that runs Rekordbox. That's it. This laptop is probably from Walmart as well. USB out to this laptop running Rekordbox. That is it. That's it, that's it, that's it. Now, The other thing that you see in the controller here is just a microphone. That's it, just a microphone. Where it gets a little bit different from the master out, you can see master out. We have RCA wires running to 1/4 inch wires into a PA system. This is just an amplifier for a basic PA system. If you're a singer-songwriter, if you work at a small bar, if you're a smaller wedding DJ, you know about small sound systems like this. It's just a good garage PA system, good for gigs at your local bars. No big deal. You could plug a guitar, a mic, and then whatever you want into here. In my case, it's a DJ controller. It could be an iPad, it could be a laptop, it could be a cell phone, whatever you want to do. What other wires you see here, very easy. Just 2 speaker wires. That's it. And those speaker wires go down into, you guessed it, the speakers that sit underneath the table here. These speakers, 1 and 2, act as my DJ booth monitors. Don't even really need them. I mean, I could mix totally 100% independently in my headphones, but it's nice to have a little bit of sound in the garage. The only other wire that you see on this, and this is where things get a little bit different, and this might be where we kind of differ on our paths of how you'll set yours up. This blue wire goes from the main stereo out, so an out, just an out, from my master channel of my PA system into the headphone jack of another laptop. This laptop records the mixes that I make here with that laptop. So this laptop controls Rekordbox. This laptop runs Ableton and records my mixes. Here's why. Couple things. Number one, I want to make this setup as easy as possible so that when I walk through the door, I can basically turn a few things on, hit record, and we're up and running. And we've got a DJ mix going. If it takes too long for me to set all this up, I'm going to end up not doing it at all. I also have a little Beachbody workout thing to keep my core strong while DJing. Anyways, I want to make it as easy as possible, and being that this laptop is basically dedicated to running Rekordbox, it's also a very cheap Walmart HP laptop. That's all I wanted to handle. I don't want it to accept information from my DJ gear, run Rekordbox, and record what I'm doing inside of Rekordbox. I think it's too much for the laptop. It's just asking for trouble, and I just don't want to deal with it. So I dedicate the recording to this laptop. The reason why, you might say, why not ditch the cheap laptop and let this powerhouse gaming laptop handle it all? Here's why. Even though this laptop could handle probably running the camera for OBS to visually capture and handle Rekordbox and all the different tweaks and knobs and things that I demand of Rekordbox through my controller and record it inside of Rekordbox, I don't want to do that. Even though it could handle it, I don't want to do that because this laptop needs to be very mobile. This thing sits in here sometimes. This thing goes in a in a backpack sometimes, in a car, on a bus, on a plane. This comes with me to produce. This comes with me to make tutorials. This comes with me to record other people and things that they need. It edits video, photos, all kinds of stuff. This thing has to be ready to go in a moment's notice. As a result of that, I do not want to have to set it up. I want to be able to keep most of my DJ gear, including that light, that cell phone that's always charged, the wiring for my controller, the laptop, the PA system. I want to keep all of this as untouched as possible so that when I come in here, I turn the computer on, the ring light on, the cell phone on, the controller on, and I'm able to basically start DJing. If I'm doing more than practicing and I want to record, I record it on here. If somebody comes through the door of the garage and says, hey, it's time to go, I can close this laptop, unplug the ring light that lights up this back corner here. Okay? It's just a USB right into the laptop right there. the blue wire goes into the headphone jack, and the laptop is charging. 3 wires in, but if I need to go, I can close it, I can unhook the light, I can unhook the headphone jack, I can unhook the charger, and I can make my way to a coffee shop or a friend's house in a moment's notice. That makes it easy because guess what? As a result of that, I didn't touch any of this. I didn't have to unplug my controller. I didn't have to worry about this running. Like, Rekordbox is always up on this. It's always ready to go. It's easy. The laptop is cheap. It doesn't matter if it gets rained on or falls. It's just, this makes it easy for me to be able to record without losing motivation. There's already a lot going on, and you'll see even with your setup, you're going to have a lot going on. There's already a lot to turn on just with this, not even including that. So being that it's a lot no matter what, you want to make it as easy as possible. So when I come in, ring light on, cell phone on, turn video on and hit record on that cell phone. Open the laptop, log in, open Rekordbox, give it a fresh restart, turn on the PA system, turn on the DJ system, get a song going on my controller/laptop, check my levels so that I'm not blowing myself out or the family out with the PA system down below. If I do want to record, this powerhouse is ready to go. If I don't want to record, I don't have to, but I can still DJ. So it seems like a lot, it seems like overkill, but for me and my psyche, what's really overkill is trying to have one laptop do everything, because then the problem is, oh, well, I was producing over at my buddy's house and my laptop is dead. So that puts a kink in the plans to DJ right now, or record right now, or whatever it may be. Maybe that's not even the best example, but the point is, I want to keep as much of this untouched and ready to go as I possibly can. That way, I don't lose motivation, I don't have to think about it. It's not like when I'm driving home from work or something I have to think, I'd love to record a DJ mix today, but damn it, I need to set up the PA system, or I need to download something, or I hope that something is charging. It's just none of that crosses my mind. 99% of this is ready to go, and when this laptop isn't editing photos or video or in a production session, it sits right here and it's ready to record, and it helps me not touch any of this. So it seems like, why 2 laptops? That's overkill, that's a lot of money, it just seems kind of redundant. It isn't, and when you start trying to do this stuff in a quick, concise, efficient way, you will see that a setup like this is extremely useful. If nothing else, not for the technical side, because maybe this laptop could handle running Rekordbox and recording the mix inside of Rekordbox. It probably could. The point is, though, there's something else you have to understand here, guys, that holds a lot of you back, and it's the convenience, the motivation, the stuff that has much less to do with the techie side of things and more to do with, can you get out to your garage and record a mix within 5 minutes? I can in under a minute. That's motivation. That keeps me going, and that keeps my ability to crank out stuff high. When you have to set everything up, you don't always feel good. You don't always want to. You don't always want to deal with the setup. So then you don't. And then a month goes by and you didn't make a DJ mix, and then 6 months goes by. Give yourself the convenience of motivation by making a setup that works both for your mental psyche, the human condition, right, as well as the tech side of things. It isn't just about minimalism and having the convenience of, like, look at how great my laptop is. It's a powerhouse. It can run everything. That's not always a good thing. Sometimes it's nice to have different laptops dedicated to different things because it makes it easy on your mental state. And your mental state is just important as the techie side of things. So I'll get off my rant here. One last thing. This is the ring light that I bought. Just so you know, if you want to buy it, it's the Creator Series ring light, 18-inch. I highly recommend it. It solved a lot of lighting problems for me. And it's super light and easy, and I can use it for a bunch of different things as well. So there you go, guys. That is a embarrassingly open and close look to my setup. Now, of course, the junk that you see everywhere, you're not going to see any of that. And you'll see what I mean in the stream. But for those of you who are wondering, there you go.